Jacksonville has a thriving nerd community, and one of the places that they've come together is CollectiveCon over the last few years.
This annual event in Jacksonville, Florida is where the fans can come and display all of their fandoms and meet celebrity guests that come into town. We're interacting with them in their Q&A panels going on throughout the weekend.
Not to mention seeing vendors, artists from literally all over the country spending money, but getting to support small business at the same time and not getting to see the same things that we see in the mall over and over again. You get to see truly unique items that people make with their own hands, and it's great to see that work come to fruition.
Thousands of people are coming here at this event today and every single event that rolls through Jacksonville. The community, as you mentioned, is thriving, and I cannot wait to see how the weekend turns out.
Hey everyone, Phil MrEricAlmighty, aka Phil the Filipino.
And Eric, aka MrEricAlmighty, and we formed the Wait For It podcast. We've been involved in the local convention scene here in Jacksonville for years now, and honestly, it never surprises me, never ceases to amaze how Jacksonville turns out in droves to events like this one.
It's crazy because we tell people that this is going on, and they don't know that it's happening in their very own backyard. But don't worry, come along with us and we'll show you what you're missing out on.
Eric from the Wait For It podcast here at CollectiveCon in Jacksonville, Florida at the Prime Osborne Convention Center, and I've got two amazing guests for you. Can you guys both introduce yourselves?
Hi, we are from Retro AV Rewind. My name is Vintage Macaroni, and I co-host the podcast with...
And I'm Bridget Rules, the other co-host.
Awesome, and you guys are here with us this weekend, having a lot of fun. What brings you to events like this that are located right in our hometown?
So what makes me excited is to see the passionate fans of the multiple fandoms that take place. So CollectiveCon is just an amalgamation of many different fandoms, and so I think we've counted video game fandoms, anime, which is a bit of our specialty, popular books, anything you can think of you can find here, which is just so cool to see our community come together and bring those passions alive.
So obviously you guys have a podcast, which is really exciting. I can relate. What makes you guys get excited about fandoms? Are you walking through looking for action figures, particular franchises? When you're walking the floor to events like this, what are you guys looking for?
So I'm usually looking for very cute things, or things of certain animes that you don't see everywhere else. Because with Artist Alley, you can find certain characters and anime stickers and artwork that you wouldn't find anywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And obviously there's so much, it can get overwhelming. So really glad to have you guys here helping us out at the event. It's always a great time. Can you tell everyone where they can find Retro AV Rewind?
We are available on anywhere you can listen to podcasts, and you can find us on our socials. We have Instagram. If you just look up retroavrewind.com, you can go to our link tree to find all of our socials.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for jumping on for this interview, and stay tuned for more.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, some interviews with local artists you'll find here in the Florida convention scene.
Eric here from the Wait For It podcast here at CollectiveCon with another one of our amazing artists here on the floor. Can you introduce yourself and your creator name?
It's Ivan. Artist name is Ivan Patch. IVAN PATCH.
Awesome. And You have an amazing table here. So many people coming by to check you out. What makes you come to a convention scene like this one in Jacksonville?
I just love nerding out with everyone. Like we talk about like all these different fandoms, and honestly, like I love talking about the niche, obscure series that not a lot of people know about because they're not always put in the forefront. So I love bonding about that. And honestly, my Rogers from I do like Roger from American Dad does all these anime characters, which really gets everyone like jumping up and like for joy, like think it's hilarious and stuff. So I enjoy that very much. Awesome stuff.
And Ivan, obviously you have a lot of amazing art. Just focusing on what's behind you, what is that process like, making these hand-painted pieces of art?
Okay, so that's like super stressful because then you're always trying to think about like what is something that you think people are gonna want, but also you want to create. So that's a little tough. And it's all acrylic, hand painted. I always do it like one time. So then you always get the people who ask like, "Oh, I can't get it now. Can you make it again later?" Well, no, it's not as original or rare that way. So I just kind of feel like it's a hard process sometimes. It really, just the concept of it all is usually the hardest. Cause trying to decide on what you want to do. So.
One-of-a-kind art that you can get here with Ivan Patch. Ivan, can you tell us where everyone can find you?
You can find me on Instagram, IvanPatch_artist, YouTube, Ivan Patch is my channel. Those are the two major, easiest places to find me. I'm on TikTok and it's still under Ivan Patch, but not as active on there.
That's fair. Ivan Patch, thank you so much for your time. One of the best artists in Florida and maybe the country. So thanks for coming to Jacksonville and gracing us with your presence. For everyone else, if you could introduce yourself and your creator name.
Yeah, so my name is Lalaine, Art Geek, and it's spelled LALAINE ARTGEEK. So it's just my first name and then the words Art Geek.
Awesome. And we're asking a couple of artists here at the venue in Jacksonville, where fandom is all around the state and the country, but in Jacksonville, we're featuring our city. What brings you to a place like Jacksonville to express your fandom and come to a convention like this one?
Yeah, so like he said, I am from here, so I love the local, the local scene of the convention here, and like I used to be in a convention attendee as well, so I just saw like all these artists that they're doing their thing, and I'm like, I kind of want to do the same thing as well. So this was starting in 2021 for me, and it kind of just grew from there.
Awesome. And you're representing a ton of different fandoms here at your table. What are some of those franchises that are most popular that you're selling your art for? And I know you do some original work as well. Let us know about both of those.
Yeah, of course. So my main fandom, I love One Piece. Like half of this booth is One Piece related, but I do have other popular fandoms like Jujutsu Kaisen and Sailor Moon and Soul Eater, Oron. So like all of the oldies but goldies. And I do have original work as well. This is the main one that I'm working on. So it's called Stitches. Me and Philip are working on it right now, and it's definitely been popular so far, and it's one of our greatest projects that we've worked on so far together.
Love everything you've got going on at your table. Can you tell us where people can find you?
They can find me with the handle Lalaine Art Geek on almost any social, so it can be on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And then on Instagram, there's a link tree to everything else, but those are the main ones I mainly use.
My name is Bella. I'm with Blazing Arts Studio, and that's BELLA for Bella. And yeah.
And we're at day 2 of Collective Con. You got to meet a lot of people. What keeps you coming to these events to interact with people, especially here in Jacksonville?
So, I have a full-time job outside of this, but I just really enjoy just making artwork. I've been drawing since I was like 12, 13 years old. The whole thing with these is that it's a good like social avenue for me because at my job I don't really get a lot of that. And the idea of sharing my artwork with other people and just seeing their faces when I create stuff that like little me would have wanted as a kid and seeing other people excited to see those things. Just that interaction, it's so minute, it just makes me want to keep coming back to them. So I'll keep coming to these shows as long as I keep making stuff.
Absolutely. And what are some of the biggest fandoms that you represent to the community here?
So as you can see a lot of what's behind me, I have a lot of Legend of Zelda stuff because that's the game I grew up on. It was like my dad and my older sisters, like we always played it together. I have a lot of Legend of Zelda, a lot of anime like Hunter x Hunter, Trigun, Kaiju number 8 just because that's been on the rise and I want to make more. And a lot of Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel because Vizzy Pop really inspired me to start taking art seriously.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. And can you tell everybody where they can find yours?
Yeah, they can find me at Blazing Fox with a dot between Fox and Blazing with a 0, or you can type Blazing Arts online on Google or on, I believe, TikTok, and I'll pop up there too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Everyone
course.
else, stay tuned.
Phil MrEricAlmighty, aka Phil the Filipino, here with my guest. Please take a moment to introduce yourself and what you do.
Of course. My name is Josh Portillo, and I am a voice actor.
Josh, it's so great connecting with you again at another convention. We just want to know, what are some things that bring you back to events such as this, whether it be here in Jacksonville or anywhere else?
Absolutely. Well, first off, Jacksonville is my hometown, so go Jags. Duval. Duval. No, the reason why I come back to cons is because it's a great congregation of people that love pop culture, love anime, and can just be themselves. I feel like in growing up, it was just like really tough to kind of like this stuff whenever I was in like high school, middle school, and everything. But now it's a cool thing. Right. So yeah, that's why I come. It's really cool.
What would you say to somebody who's maybe never been to one of these, if they're a little apprehensive about what to expect or even what to do?
I would say go with a few friends. I would say, to have that kind of community with you to go to, because it is kind of intimidating going, the first time whenever I went, I was really intimidated, but I went with like 5 friends. Mm-hmm. So, just going with a good group of friends, and if you don't have that, just taking the leap and knowing that there are people here that, share the same interests that you do. Because I was just in the Metal Gear line. Yeah. And, there were people I was talking to that like, dude, I like Metal Gear Solid 4. I like Metal Gear Solid 1. You connect with people. So. Yeah, that's always really great. What's something that you, because we talked about how people come here and maybe spend a little bit too much money. What's something that you have your eye on whenever you come to a convention? Are you a Funko guy? Are you stickers, pins? What do you look for? I am a print guy. I just spent a lot of money on a print from Tasia and David, so from Metal Gear, and my wallet is crying. And but I also get T-shirts too. Creative Images. I think that's what they're called. They have an Instagram. I always get T-shirts from them, so they're pretty cool. Been seeing them since 2016. But T-shirts, prints, but yeah, your wallet is going to be crying. It's always great also because you build relationships with these vendors, with these artists. You see them. I always compare it to a high school reunion that you want to attend. Yes, absolutely. I see these people. I'm going to be honest, I'm okay with names, but because you don't see the people like 4 months, 5 months at a time, unless you see them like maybe every 2 weeks, you're like, hey bro, how you doing? Right. Like, hey girl, how you doing? It's just like, it's kind of, it's hard, but it is kind of like a high school reunion because you see these people, you share what they do on social media, and you just want them to succeed. 100%. Well, thank you for your time, Josh. Please let the audience know where they can find you and your work. They can find me on my Instagram at Josh Portillo VO, all undercase, or undercase, lowercase. And then on Twitter, it's at Josh_. I'm gonna spell this out. SAITOGAMI. I know that's a mouthful. There you go. Well, thanks so much again for your time, Josh. Stick around. We got more coming.
Coming up next, we are going to be talking with a special guest, cosplayer. Eric from the Wait For It podcast here at Collective Con with one of our special cosplayer guests. Can you introduce yourself and your cosplay name?
Yes, hello, my name is Ash. I go by Black Flame Cause.
And Black Flame, can you tell us a little bit about why you came to Jacksonville and specifically the convention scene to be a guest at this type of show?
So I've been doing cosplay for about 16 years now. It's just been an off and on thing. I've been enjoying cosplay. I just love dressing up as my favorite characters and getting to meet all the attendees and whatnot. So I just got invited and I said, yeah, let's do this. It's going to be a good time.
What are some of your favorite characters that you have cosplayed as?
Oh no, that's such a hard decision. I think right now I think I really like this cosplay. It's Love Live. Her name is Rika. I do a bunch of idol dance cosplays, so those are my go-to. I also enjoy my Storm cosplay from X-Men. So I have like the contact, so I can't see anything, and it's really cool.
We get to see this here in Jacksonville, which is great. But for people that aren't here and want to check you out, where can they find you?
So you can find me on Facebook, BlackFlame16, Instagram, BlackFlame_cause, Twitter, same thing, BlackFlame_cause, TikTok, BlackFlame16.
Hey everyone, Phil Barrera, aka Phil the Filipino, here again with my next guest. Could you please introduce yourself to our audience and let them know what you do?
Sure, I'm Ryan. A lot of you may know me from GAM or Jack's Creators or 57 billion other random things. Nobody really knows.
Always busy, Ryan.
Yeah.
So it's great that we actually got this time to
I
catch
appreciate
up with you.
your time.
So, no, it's always great linking up with you, whether it be here or various GAM events. So what are some of the things that continue to bring you back to events such as Collective Con?
It's the celebration of culture. This is a segment that I look back 10, 12 years ago, and we didn't have this in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
People always saw other cities, whether it be LA, Orlando especially, New York, and people always left Jacksonville to get this experience. And now that we finally have it here, it's great. I will continue to celebrate it until the day I die.
Yeah, I think I was telling somebody earlier, like, I'll go to work on Monday and show people pictures, and they'll have no idea that any of this ever happened. So what would you say? I've asked this to a couple of other people. What would you say to... No, it wasn't a number question.
Okay.
What would you say to some people that have maybe never been to something like this and maybe they're a little apprehensive, like what to expect? What would your advice to them be?
Show up with an open mind and look at it like any other social experience around celebration. I think people who are used to going to tailgating, a Jaguars game, going to catch something at the Florida Theater, you're always going to be a part of a certain community and crowd, and you're all celebrating something together. Yeah, that's all this is. Everybody here is always so welcoming, especially if you are new. Know that people will be more than happy to guide you and welcome you in. They'll almost be excited to do so.
Yeah. One of my favorite things at the end of a con weekend is somebody will come up to us and they'll tell us this was their first time and they just had a blast. So that's always really great. To bring it back to GAM, a lot of people again maybe surprised that there is a community like that in an organization. So how can people maybe even get more involved or just reach out and be part of that community?
If you go to gamgood.com, we've got plenty of options for people to sign up to volunteer, just find out what we're doing and what we're about. We're really open to bringing people on board and just sharing all the awesome stuff that's going on in Jacksonville, whether it's around gaming, whether it's around tabletop, cosplay, just art itself. We're here for you. We want to welcome you in. I want the free labor, so please sign up.
There are so many things to put together and construct. Please come out and do that for us.
I mean, I keep it real, y'all. That's what GAM's about, keeping it real. But no, celebrate nerd culture.
Yeah.
Jacksonville has always been unique with it. It really is homegrown here.
Yep.
And that's part of what makes it different and special from a lot of other cities. That this can arise even without having a bigger economy around it, without having like actual company, like Disney's in Orlando. You got a lot of stuff feeding that. We don't have that here, but the people are so passionate that this continues to become a successful and extremely integrated part of our city. I can't wait to see it grow even more.
And it continues to over time, which has been absolutely amazing. So, I mean, the people want to know, when's GAMCon?
There are talks of GAM is not a con. No. There are talks of a GAM, a formal GAM coming back. We'll see. But until then, I'm really excited just to
come to the
with
market.
other events. Yeah, come to the
market.
Holiday Nerd Market. Be able to support things like Collective Con, Bowl Matsuri, Leaderboard, K-pop Chicken. Like there's so many other facets now that I love supporting, and GAM does everything it can to support all these other things. Look, I'm getting choked up about it. That I'm perfectly happy doing all that, but if the community drags me back out and my back can handle it, we'll see. Maybe a 15-year anniversary. We'll see.
There you go. I think a lot of people also maybe celebrate their fandoms, privately and by themselves, and they don't know that there is a Pokemon community or a K-pop community or anything like that. So, going through GAM and finding all those resources, that's a great way to go. So for those of you that are maybe finding like your inner child or finding fandoms, refining fandoms, because now I think we're in a place where a lot of that is more accepted, it's on the mainstream, and I think it's a good opportunity to come out and, like I said, just come here with an open mind, have some fun, network, meet some people.
Now, one of the things I'm really happy to see is it's not just, hey, what's up, man? It's not just the people that are supporting this. For the longest time, it really was grassroots.
Yeah.
It took every one of us to actually like, hey man, there's this thing going on, here's the flyer about it. Now to finally see some of the pillars of media kind of actually be here and have like a camera crew and other teams like exposing like, hey, here's what's going on, and kind of merging with the grassroots culture, I think is only going to set Jacksonville up for even more success, especially in this industry.
Yeah.
I just saw there's another arcade bar opening up downtown.
Yeah, where 1904 used to be. They redid it. Yeah.
Leaderboard has 2 locations now.
Yeah.
K-pop chicken is a thing. Like there's more, like another one going on the west side. There's all these facets of nerd community that now is outside of just us propping it up. Like the media and the established giants are like, oh yeah, no, we should talk about these things.
Right.
And it's great because I think it's only going to create stronger connections and more growth.
Yeah, it is also great having people behind the scenes that are passionate about stuff like this, that can be the voice for the community, that can get in for great opportunities like this so people can see it. And then, people might watch this and be like, oh no, I missed CollectiveCon, but like there's one right around the corner. There'll be another one that'll be another weekend. We have some coming up in the summer as well. We have smaller shows. We were talking about Nakama. Nakama does a market every first Sunday of the month as well. So you can get like kind of even if you don't want to like dive into the deep end, you can dip your toe in the water at a Nakama and see like what kind of artists and vendors are there. So and again, just having the opportunity for people to see that through something like this is huge.
Like I don't think we would have had things. Darby's Dungeon, I think, is another great example. Where, hey, look, sorry, I'm going to keep seeing random strangers. But they're not strangers, they're friends.
Right.
Women-owned business, going into tabletop and nerd gaming. Rewind this back 12 years ago, and to even be able to accept a woman, starting a business, but in this space, was kind of like, oh, that's not going to happen.
Sure.
Girls don't game, they don't do this and that. And like now she is one of the leaders in our scene, and she does so much for the people. And I think that, again, getting mainstream attention to it, so it's not such a fringe scenario, it brings so much culture and acceptance to Jacksonville.
Yeah. And then spotlighting artists and vendors from all over the place. A lot of them are local here in Jacksonville, but a lot of them you can also find anywhere throughout all of Florida. So you'll get to make relationships with people and see them elsewhere, and that's always really cool too. So I can't stress enough how much the artists and vendors are kind of like the backbone of shows like this.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people are focused on the guests, and they're all fantastic. Like the guests that are here this weekend are outstanding. But those artists and vendors putting all their hard work in, like they keep this thing together. So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
that used to be how these things were run.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the artists and the vendors, we wouldn't have this.
All right. Thanks so much for your time, Ryan.
Thank you. Are we supposed to shake hands, or
no,
do we just say
we
bye?
We don't have to do that. Stick around. We got more coming. Are we supposed to shake?
Coming up next, we get to talk and learn all about what is a maid cafe. Eric from the Wait For It podcast here with one of the recurring guests that we have at every convention scene here in Jacksonville and across Florida and beyond. We have the Maid Cafe. Can you tell us about the Maid Cafe, the whole name, how to spell it, and what you guys do?
Well, we are Mirai Maid Cafe, so that's M-I-R-A-I. So here at Mirai Maid Cafe, we put on an amazing performance with lots of pretty fireworks and yummy food, drinks. We have onigiri, we have matcha lattes, all of that fun stuff, and we also play games and entertain our lovely guests.
So what is making you guys go around to each of these conventions, especially here in Jacksonville, and to do this every year, meet new people? Like, what is the vibe? What brings you guys to do this every single time?
Well, we have a passion for entertaining our lovely guests and also the cons. We love the cons. We love the con goers and CollectiveCon. Everyone, they treat us so lovely. Everyone is very kind, and that's why we keep coming back and forth, because we've created a little tight-knit family and it's a community. So we really love it and we enjoy it.
It's a show you really can't miss. Can you tell everyone where they can find you?
You can find us on Instagram at Maid Cafe Mirai. Maid Cafe Mirai. On Instagram, and TikTok is Mirai Maid Cafe.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and stay tuned.
So, as you can see, this is just a small taste of the nerd community here in Jacksonville.
And if this is your vibe, make sure to check us out, the Wait For It podcast. We're a pop culture podcast that started right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Two friends talking about the things that we love, a lot of which you've seen today.
Yeah, and the Wait For It podcast is just the beginning. We're going to be spotlighting so many other people within this community, between GAM, the Short Box podcast, so many Retro AV Rewind that you also met here today, so many other people that there are to talk to about what happens here right in your backyard.
Absolutely, and we really appreciate this opportunity. Make sure to check everything out, and we'll see you in the next one.